I was wrong about the Thunder Burst SMG. Not about it becoming the best weapon of Season 1. It actually became the most played mid-range weapon in competitive Fortnite, as I predicted with my first video on it, which, if you remember, came out at a time where everyone was playing Striker AR. However, I was wrong about the way it played. On top, we already had one more balance patch and 2 event patches. They even brought new Mythics into the game, so I think it's the perfect time to revisit the Thunder Burst SMG and analyze it in depth again. For this, I'll split the video in 3 main steps. In step 1, I cover the base weapon, the ideal loadout, as well as the best attachments for getting the best possible Thunder Burst SMG. In step 2, we'll compare the Thunder Burst SMG to its direct competitors in the SMG/AR slot. And in step 3, we'll talk about strategy, meaning how to most efficiently use the Thunder Burst SMG. My name is TSK, and it's my goal to become the best together with you guys. Before we talk about the ideal loadouts, let's cover the base. First, it's time to tackle the sheet itself. As I said multiple times in my past weapon guides, the DPS shown on the sheet is wrong. It actually doesn't take into consideration that the Thunder Burst shoots 3 bullets at a time. The sheet shows the accurate 3.5 times you can shoot the weapon per second, but only calculates at times 29 to reach the 101.5 DPS. This is of course straight wrong, since a burst has 3 bullets. The actual DPS is 101.5 times 3, meaning 304.5 DPS on highest rarity. With that, we have the highest DPS weapon in the game. As I said, per shot, it does 29 damage, which is just as much as Nisha's Striker AR, by the way. And surprisingly, it is really good at mid and long range too. The fire rate is also insanely high. Again, it's... What? TSK moment. Again, it says 3.5, but it is actually 3.5 times 3, since every burst is 3 bullets, meaning 10.5 shots per second, which is absolutely insane. It comes with a very large mag of 27 bullets, a really good reload time of 2.03 seconds, as well as really good vertical and horizontal recoil. On level up, we of course get higher DPS by upgrading the damage on all distances, including structure damage. The reload time goes down by 0.45 seconds if you compare a white to a legendary, and also we improve the vertical recoil on level up. So in total, it's an insanely good close to mid-range SMG. It functions more as an AR on mid-range, yet like a proper SMG in close range. So of course, it has an insane potential if you can control it. The third point, attachments, I'll show you how to make it way easier. But first, let's talk loadout. My opinion on the weapons you play combined with the Thunder Burst SMG has not changed. I still recommend playing the auto shotgun for close range and the sniper rifle for long range. I did however change my opinion on optics for the sniper rifle, as I'm having absolutely insane success with the 2x scope on the sniper rifle at the moment, as it allows me to do close range quick scopes too, while not taking too much long range for my build at the same time. What's interesting though is the other 2 items I like to play with this build, as both weren't even in the game at the time I did my first Thunder Burst analysis. I combine a TMNT weapon with Flowberry Fish for the absolute craziest movement in the game. It comes with a cooldown and does not run out like the shockwave grenades. The TMNT weapons give you way more control over your movement than either the grapple blade or the shockwave grenades, as you can easily navigate through the air by using more charges. Using the left click once you are already mid-air lets you charge back down on the ground, making it infinitely harder for an enemy to hit you mid-air. At the same time, you deal 70 damage on everyone you're landing on. You can use a combination of both TMNT abilities to easily surprise people behind cover and much more. I might actually do a full guide on the TMNT weapon soon, but in the background footage you will see plenty of examples. And of course, apart from comboing very nicely with the TMNT weapons, you all know how good Flowberry Fish is. You can shield exactly as much as you need at any given time, get crazy good movements, and 100 shield in total. All in one item, plus it also affects your teammates. An absolute S-tier shielding item. Bunkers are insanely good and necessary for zero build competitive, so if you play tournaments, consider dropping the sniper rifle for bunkers. While it breaks my heart to not play sniper rifle this season, staying alive is more important than eliminating enemies, and in comp games you can't get around playing bunkers. Okay, let's finish part 1 by explaining the best attachments before we can compare the Thunder Burst SMG with the other weapons in that slot. The quick mag is the better option, as the drum mag nerfs the reload speed further, getting me personally stuck on the reload animation many times. times. The quick mag increases reload speed by 20%, while the drum mag lowers the reload speed by an additional 15%, but of course at the same time giving you 40% more bullets per mag. However, you usually do not run out of ammo with the Thunder Burst SMG anyways, as the base damage combined with the base mag is very large, and you get so much damage in the mag that usually your enemy will be dead. And getting the quick mag will help greatly in third-party situations. You will of course use the muzzle brake as our barrel option, as it reduces all recoil by 25%. The laser only reduces spread by 5% for the Thunder Burst SMG, which is why in my first video I told you guys to play the vertical foregrip instead. However, these 5% remove all the remaining bloom from the Thunder Burst SMG, meaning you can hip fire on all distances, which is the most important aspect of this weapon. There is no way around the laser, and I was shocked when I first played with it 2 days ago. Lastly, we play without sights, since sights will make ADS speed slower, and you will not find it hard to shoot the Thunder Burst SMG without sights if you use the attachments I just told you about. Alright, now that you guys know everything about the Thunder Burst SMG, apart from strategy, which we will talk about last, let's compare the Thunder Burst SMG with its direct competitors. Let's start with the easiest, as usual, the Hyper SMG, aka the worst weapon of Season 1. Since I wanna be realistic here, I'm gonna compare a blue Thunder Burst SMG with the Mythic Hyper SMG. Why, you ask? It is gonna be hard to find a higher rarity Thunder Burst SMG than blue on average, while at the same time you will fight an enemy with the Mythic Hyper SMG every game. This is way more accurate when we talk about Nisha Striker AR, as someone will always play that every match, while people usually just don't pick up the Hyper SMG at all. However, if someone chose to play Hyper SMG, they will have the Mythic. So we're comparing blue to Mythic here. DPS, again, we have to triple the DPS on the Thunder Burst SMG, meaning we have 273 DPS on the Thunder Burst, which is insanely much higher than the 204 on the Hyper SMG, of course. And of course, if you do find higher rarity, this increases even more. You got higher damage per shot on all distances, more structure damage. Fire rate, again, we gotta triple it, but Hyper SMG still has more, which is 12 versus the 10.5 we have on the Thunder Burst. However, fire rate doesn't matter if the DPS is lower. This just means that the magazine runs out faster, which means while you get 30 bullets on a Hyper SMG magazine, it still runs out faster than the 27 we have on the Thunder Burst SMG. The big plus is reload speed. However, keep in mind we can lower it once we get the quick mag. Slight advantage on spread. However, with the laser, this will go to the Thunder Burst SMG easily. And lastly, recoil also on the side of the Thunder Burst SMG. This is an absolute stump. The Thunder Burst SMG is leagues above the Hyper SMG, but that was to be expected. Next up, Ranger Pistol. To be fair here again, there's no Mythic version in the game, meaning on average, people will also only have a blue pistol. So we're comparing blue against blue here. Again, DPS is not even close. 273 on the Thunder Burst against 178.2 on the Ranger Pistol. The Ranger Pistol comes with very slightly higher damage per shot on close range. However, even starting in mid-range, we are already in favor again, and this is where single shot damage matters, as close range is all about pure DPS. Fire rate, we of course have a huge advantage on the Thunder Burst SMG with a 10.5 against the 6.6 of the Ranger Pistol. Big plus for the Ranger Pistol here on reload speed, as well as spread on paper, but in practice with the laser, the spread is unbeatable on the Thunder Burst SMG. Vertical recoil also in our favor, and while I think the Ranger Pistol is underrated, I think the Thunder Burst is the clear winner once again here. Next up, Lock on Pistol. You know, I absolutely love this thing. However, it is simply not true that it has 375 DPS, but even if it magically did, it only has a max size of 12 that cannot be adjusted, since we cannot put any attachments on the Lock on Pistol, meaning you easily run out of steam before finishing the fight, forcing you to reload. And yeah, there's no question in my mind, the Thunder Burst SMG actually has more DPS. So I really wonder how they came up with this 375 DPS here. And yeah, we have higher damage on all distances, more than double the max size, and it says better vertical recoil. However, this is a lie. The Lock on Pistol has literally no recoil. Plus, the Lock on Pistol is hit scan, so accuracy still goes to the Lock on Pistol, as it is literally perfect accuracy. However, once we get all the attachments in our Thunder Burst SMG, which again you cannot get on a Lock on Pistol, it takes the cake here and is the clear winner for me again. And lastly, Thunder Burst SMG versus Nisha Striker AR, because as I said, you will always have to beat one person with Nisha Striker AR in a game, but even on blue rarity we already have way more DPS with our 273 than the 234 on Nisha Striker AR. We do, however, have more damage on all distances with Nisha Striker AR and more structure damage, as well as more efficient range, however, way lower fire rate. Again, we have 10.5 on the Thunder Burst SMG versus the 8.1 on Nisha Striker AR. We do have a larger max size, however, Nishas will last longer, since again, fire rate is lower. We got way better reload speed and also better recoil. In my opinion, even the blue Thunder Burst SMG beats Nisha Striker AR. However, if you get higher rarity, let's say for example a legendary, things get way more obvious. We are back to the 304.5 DPS, and we also weirdly enough have more damage on long range, way better reload speed, and also way better recoil. I have to say, I was shocked to find out how much of a difference that little laser made. It completely changes the way you can play the Thunder Burst SMG and finally allows you to fully abuse its potential DPS. Playing this thing on controller is even better, by the way, as it makes controlling the burst way easier additionally. So I take the L on my former assessment about Thunder Burst SMG versus Striker AR in my last weapon guide, and finally agree with you guys that indeed the Thunder Burst SMG is the best weapon in the SMG/AR slot in Fortnite Chapter 5 Season 1. However guys, we are not done yet. Let's talk strategy. As with any other SMG, it is best if you manage to get very close to your enemy. Of course, this is always only recommended after already having an HP advantage. Try to hit a snipe before pushing with your movement, or if you are close enough, open the fight with the Thunder Burst SMG. Any normal close range fight will begin with you hitting a high damage burst with your Thunder Burst SMG before pushing with the auto shotgun. Any normal long range fight again will begin with you hitting a snipe before pushing. Don't be afraid to reset close range fights if you aren't happy with the amount of damage you got out of the SMG. Play close to cover until you get the HP advantage even in close range. Make use of your insane movement to get in cover or to get around enemy cover. And finally, do not be impatient. Don't get into fights just for the sake of it. Get the advantage first. Okay, let's summarize. The Thunder Burst SMG is the highest DPS weapon you can find in the SMG and AR slot by also having the highest accuracy apart from the lock-on pistol. Don't skip the laser, even if the benefit seems very small, it is the greatest game changer. The key to perfecting this build is the auto shotgun loadout, ultra important for this. There is actually way more to know about the auto shotgun than you might first think, so I highly recommend watching my in-depth guides on the auto shotgun. The most important thing is that you subscribe to my channel right now. If you enjoyed the video or appreciate the effort I put into making these, or best case, want to see more of my videos, subscribe to the channel. I'm still a very small channel, and it's literally my dream to change that, so every single like and every single subscribe really means a lot to me. I also wanted to say thanks for all the insanely positive comments on my last video, and wanted to tell you guys that I'm making the Inside My Mind video into a full new series on my channel. It was an absolute blast making it, so it's kind of a win-win, I guess. Anyways, thanks a lot for watching, and I'll catch you guys in the next video. Bye!
Huh?
What? I'm trash, literally. You saw that? I was so confused, I couldn't move anymore.